Just one more question before we turn it over to the audience and allow you guys to ask some questions. But in addition to joining IMBA, joining local trail groups, getting out, holding better events, what else can we do to keep this sport going forward and progressing?
Can I answer that? These guys are lagging here. Well, from a woman's perspective, I think it's building the community and making it and welcoming people that have never tried this, that have never ridden off the road, welcome them in a supportive environment. From Luna, like I work for Luna, and we have the Lunatics Pro team and the ambassadors. We have a welcoming environment to get new people on board and say, we'll give you clinics, we're going to support you, we're going to cruise, take easy trails, we're going to teach you safe techniques, and we're going to Facebook each other and talk about equipment in a more friendly way and create like a club. And I think that's a way to get new people into it, a way to get women into it. But it's just the community. It looks really scary when you see the downhill pictures, but you have to tell people that it's actually a safe sport if you know how to ride safely. And so if you can join a local club or something like the Luna Chicks, then it can grow the sport, I believe.
I totally agree. It's if every bike rider could turn around and work with two other people and turn them into bike riders, think of how quickly this whole sport could grow.
Yeah, keep it fun on whatever level it is, and that's how the sport started. And now, maybe nowadays, people expect more than riding down repack, That's why we maybe need to build trails and have better bikes and better infrastructure. And like Ned said, these organizations like IMBA and Bikes Belong and People for Bikes and all these things, these are great. And we need to support them, because only if we have a voice, the big guys like in Washington or wherever listen to us, They want to see, a million guys are into this? Okay, maybe we should do something. Otherwise, they just,
San Francisco, we have a San Francisco Bicycle Coalition, 11,000 members, over 11,000 members. It is the largest paid member group within San Francisco. So what they do is like whenever a politician is up for election, they'll send a questionnaire to the politician. The answers will be sent out to the membership. The membership supports those that they want to support. Now, in the last election we had, 6 of the 7 recommended officials by the Bike Coalition were elected to office. You damn well better believe our politicians pay attention to us now.
Yeah, and it's all about building that bridge between the recreational rider and the athletes. Mountain biking came from hardcore athletes, so it was for beginners never easy to get into the sport, because what's for us an easy ride is for them a nightmare. And the trails are too steep or the uphills too long, and the recreational riders are way over there. But if we can build this bridge and get them in with fun trails, with easy enough stuff, with stuff that includes them, it doesn't make them feel like they're not part of us, then it's a win-win, and I think that's where the whole movement is moving towards.
Well, thanks, guys. We have any questions from the crowd?
Like the 650B?
Yes.
I mean, I'm open. I've always been open. I'm thinking like we did a 69er before, the company, and I'm thinking, it should have been 650B on the rear and 29 in the front. And then some guys in our company will say, why don't we do 29 in the rear and 32 on the front? I love change in a way. In a way, I hate it, though, because on the other hand, it's like 25 years ago, you'd buy either a Reynolds or a Columbus tube frame. They were all lugged. They all had, if you were a top racer, it'd all be Campagnolo, unless you were French. And the Campagnolo equipment, on the rear derailleur would be a number. That was the year it was made. Therefore, the technology part of it was, actually very slow. And you could master the art of working and putting together a bike. Today, it's a completely different world. And I must say, we need training and certification with our mechanics. Our mechanics. A bike is only as good as the last wrench that took care of it. And I got to tell you, we in the industry, we work on our own bikes, or we have a trusted friend that's a great mechanic. And I'll tell you, I've been in the city, living in the city the last few years, and I used to have a really nice shop. Now I have a toolbox. And I figured, well, you know what, it's time I go and check out our local mechanics. And I must say, half the work is less than standard. I like good mechanics. It's like all these guys, they've all had like ace mechanics. And that's somebody, they can put together a whole new bike. You can go race on it the next day, and it's 100%, right?
That's why I still can't work on my bike. I'm too spoiled.
And I think that's a challenge for our industry right now, is more training, you know, and because this has become a complex industry. And that saved us from the mass merchants. They can't sell our stuff. They can't even begin to sell our stuff. And we love where we're at, and we love high tech, and we need to embrace it, and we need to honor it by training.
Go ahead.
You were just mentioning, all of you guys, and I love what you mentioned about uniting the way the pros ride and the regular people ride. I was, well, hitting for the pro thing. I met Marla in 2006 in La Ruta in Costa Rica. And when I returned, I thought, you know what, this is not for me. So I started to ride from what you said, uniting the normal people with the pros. Right now, we're creating an event right there in Baja, the RosendaAdventureRace.com. You can log in and check us out, and that's what we're creating. So I just want to congratulate all you guys about what you have in your hearts and in your minds to unite all of us, you know. Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you very much. Any other questions? Go ahead.
Evolution of racing. We've come from cross country and downhill to short track, full slalom. Do you guys see the birth or introduction of a whole new discipline to the racing scene?
Personally, I think there will always be little sub races which will be slightly different and a new twist. You know, like we have now the super enduros coming up, and the sport will diversify more and more. It's kind of like car racing. In the old day, there was one car and one car race, and now you have all these different car sports and disciplines which have nothing to do with each other. And I think it's kind of similar with this. There will be more, you know, in the old days, you won the race and you were the overall champion, you know, and now you have, oh no, he won just this race, and then there's this, and they have very little to do with each other often. They have different bikes, different materials, different specialists, riders, and you know, the one sport I think that has a potential to get some big-time TV exposure for cycling is slopestyle. If somebody packages that sport right, it could become a part of the X Games. It could make it, you know, like a TV sport. Not necessarily something every kid wants to go out and learn a double backflip, but it would still be good. It's kind of like Formula One. You know, not everybody goes out and races a Formula One car, but it's a nice sport to watch, and I think slopestyle has a lot of potential for that.
Any others? If that's it, I think we'll wrap it up. Thanks to you guys. Thank Hans, Ned, Gary,
Thank you.
Marla.
Thanks for having us.
fantastic.
T-shirts
Yeah.
for everyone.
We have T-shirts here for anybody who wants one. Commemorative 25th anniversary Mountain Bike Magazine T-shirts. Also, all the photos you see here, silent auction. Go to mountainbike.com. You can auction, bid on them, and take one home for you. So, thanks for coming.
Thank you.